I love to act, but it's so different than stand-up because with stand-up you have so much more control over when you can do it and like making your own audience. And like with acting and auditions, like I always wanted to be an actor as well as a comedian, but I never focused on acting. I always just focused on stand-up because I knew that it was like, it is such a crapshoot. You talk about being lucky as a stand-up. You have to get so lucky as an actor that it's like, okay, well, you're just like 1 inch off of what we wanted, or, you know, you don't have the right color hair, color eyes, or whatever it is. You just have no clue what people are looking for.
I do recognize like moments of opportunity. You know, it's like they come when they come. You have to you have to be able to, you have to have the skill to recognize them, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've recognized them well, but we're still here 13, 14 years
You
later.
have.
And we're bringing in, you know, some really great performers and stuff, and I hope it stays alive. But like, I know that like when those, especially in the beginning, when those opportunities come, it's like, one, how do you recognize them? So like for you, what was, it seems like you were already kind of like angling that way. You already had it in your mind, like, I'm not sure that I can do this on my own. I don't know. I'm asking like with just the regular path, like the going to open mics, and like you're gonna beat out your competition, or you're gonna get the momentum going.
Right. I had a feeling that it was gonna take like some sort of social media intervention or something, because it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I went up through the Baltimore comedy scene, like did open mics, did showcases, and then was hosting at Magoobies. That's like my home club. I was a host there. Love the name. One of the best names of all time. Magoobies. So I was a host there, and I really just did not see a path to like building an audience from just doing stand-up only. And I think a lot of comics talk about that. It's like you have to be doing something other than stand-up at the same time. Like it's important to build the skill set of stand-up and hone material and all that kind of stuff. Right. But if you're not also putting something out online, there's really almost no way to build an audience unless you get really, really lucky at, you know, just a showcase or a festival, or someone sees you there, brings you on the road.
Get lucky, or you have a unique strength, maybe. Something that people in live performances that
right.
You know.
Right. But TikTok was special because it was like, it was just sort of getting out there. So you didn't need a following to get like views on TikTok. Like it was all like organic, people finding my stuff. So that's like really important too. Is like when an app comes out, it's like, holy shit, just jump on that and just start posting stuff. Right. But it worked. So like you said, it was a combination of like being prepared, having this content, having these jokes ready, being able to do a headlining set after I got attention, because I'd already been doing stand-up, and then the luck of like just having the algorithm shine upon me.
Right. No, it's just it's a really cool story, because it seems like, one, you had an awareness over what you were doing, and I think a lot of people don't necessarily. It seems like there was a rough plan, not a perfect. Like if it didn't work, you probably would have shifted, right?
Definitely.
Like let's say you got no views on it. Let's say it just didn't.
Right.
It was like months and months of trying it. What would you have done?
I would have just found a new sound or a new type of character to put out on TikTok. Yeah. I just had a feeling that something was going to take. I mean, I have so some of my friends, other Baltimore comics. So I don't know if you ever heard of the Therapy Gecko.
Oh yeah,
Lyle Drescher.
Yeah, they're coming.
Oh, oh my God, he was a Maryland comic. Like we were doing open mics together in Baltimore, and he kind of shifted to just doing podcasts. I don't even know if he does stand up anymore, but he was popping off on TikTok. He just threw on the gecko suit and was like taking calls. And I was like,
so awesome.
Yes. I was like, damn. I was like, if Lyle's doing it, then something I got to be able to find something that works on here. But that's what it would have been. It like, I was just trying all different types of sketches. And once I got one, I knew I had to make like a bunch of them, because it's all about like the value judgment when like people go to your page, they want to see that you're doing the stuff that they like a lot. Yeah. So it's like they will follow because you have more of it. So I knew I had to do more, and then just opportunities started building off of that, like with the acting and stand-up.
I loved how you use everything available to you, because there's this other thing, this quality that you have. It's so perfect for the angry retail guy. It's like, I mean, you talk about your physicality. You joke about like your size and how I bet you're like a tough dude. Actually, I bet. And it's funny because the way that you work the audiences, you do have a certain confidence to you where you're like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like you're not like a weakling. You don't come off as like a total weakling. You do have that physicality though, and you yourself, talk about it. But it's like I love that. I love that you use that, you have that. And for the angry retail guy, there's this like look you have. It's just this small person kind of pushed to the edge.
Yes.
Where they're just gonna go fucking ravage on you, And there's something with that music that's just like, you speak for everyone that's worked a shitty job.
Oh, thanks, man.
And they're just at that tipping point, and you're the guy you're this little guy that's just gonna go ravage and rip their fucking heads off.
It's like hulking out or something, totally. And that's why I love like integrating the music into the live show too. Some like doing it not too much, but a little bit, so people can enjoy it. But like the music really signals that it's like, you're in my world now, bitch. Like it's like this is my domain.
Totally.
It's this really crazy. It really signals to them that there's been a change. But yeah, I'm super confident on stage. I'm an anxious guy in real life, but super confident on stage. I'm good at wrangling the audience, I think. And that really comes from like, dude, I was doing murder mystery dinner theater for years while also doing stand-up. And that was all about just like wrangling drunk people into solving a mystery. Like it's like the hardest thing to do because people are just they're out of control, they're blackout, and you're trying to be like, look at the fingerprints, match these up. It's really difficult to do. But so I like kind of dealing with the rowdier crowd sometimes.
I could tell. I mean, we dealt with one a little bit yesterday, but also, what's great about the music is that music is like, it's a built-in backup system to deal with rowdy people, because they kind of know the deal. The music gives you that, like, once you push that on, it's like, this is my fucking space. You know what I mean? So it's the way that it works is, the whole thing is just perfect.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you saying that.
But yeah, and also, so the other thing is that you're actually, like, in my opinion, whatever, I'm not an expert, but I've seen a fair amount of comedians come through the Den over the last few years, and your skill set is high.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
dude.
you're not just, it's not just that you have this thing that this sketch and you're just like doing stand up because of that, and it's that you're actually a really funny dude. You understand ebbs and flows of the audiences and how to maneuver through those. You understand how to deal with the audience, and your jokes are strong. Like,
dude, I really appreciate you saying that, man.
You actually have, a lot of talent as a stand-up, and so, like, but that brings me to my next question.
Okay. Oh boy, here comes the but.
Well. I thought
it was just going to be compliments for an hour, dude. Come on.
I know.
Go ahead.
I want to find out. I want to know if there's any mistakes that you've made because I do see that I see all the pieces. Like, you're highly talented as a comedian. You had this huge like thing that skillfully mastered like execution of this windfall, not really a windfall. You created the windfall, but like huge opportunity. And now I guess this question is kind of twofold. It's one, what is working and what isn't. I think like
Yeah.
what are the pitfalls of something like this? Like what's holding you
Interesting.
back? What's holding your career back from not being at the Den but being at the Chicago Theater
wow.
next year?
Interesting. I mean, I'm sure I've made 1,000 mistakes, but if I had to point to something, I mean, I guess my strategy with it, when I started posting the videos, I was posting a lot in 2021, 2022. And then I kind of scaled back a bit because I did not want, because at a time where everyone was kind of pushing out content like daily, especially on TikTok, like some people are posting like 2-3 times a day. I don't do that. I post irregularly, and maybe that's ill-advised. I kind of like, I didn't want to pressure myself to always be pushing something out. And I feel like maybe that was a mistake. Like maybe I should be pushing myself more in that way. But it's also not, because the whole thing is like I'm like I'm the anti-work guy. So I'm like, well, I got to have work-life balance too. And like my own, I got to live that philosophy if that's like my comedy is what that's about. But like I do feel like that is kind of a struggle of mine where I think, should I be more, should I have more of a schedule? Should I just be doing it when I have an idea, when I'm excited about something? Because I don't want to get burnt out.
How often is it? How often do you still post?
I mean, I'm posting like, at least like once a month or something like that, but it's not, I'm not on a schedule like I have been in the past. And, it's because of like, it's also just because of other things like acting, more stand-up shows. I mean, the book, like I wrote a book that's coming out in September, and that was like way more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, it is writing a book,
dude. I'm an idiot. I was like, I'll bang this out in like a month. I'll write a book in like 4 weeks. Who cares? You know what I mean? But it's like, I'm very happy with the book. Like it took me like, over a year to write and everything. But that was a huge thing, was balancing writing, acting, stand-up, and the videos. Like I think that's also a mistake. I heard Jimmy Carr like recently say on a podcast that like his whole philosophy is to do less better. And I feel like that is one of the things I'm moving toward in like this year and next year. That's kind of my goal, is to kind of like figure out exactly what avenues of comedy I want to pursue, and then do those really, really well. But like because I blew up so much with those videos, I was just excited to take, all these different opportunities, and they were things that I was excited about. But I do think it kind of burnt me out just a little bit, especially with the writing of the book. But because the book, I wanted to make it the funniest book possible. Like it's a gift book. It's not like a memoir or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's like
little snippets of
it's
like
comedy, it's rants,
situation.
it's essays, it's bits. You know what I mean? And so my goal was to be like, I want people like laughing out loud as they're reading it. And the thing about writing like 200 pages of jokes and bits to make people laugh out loud, it's really fucking hard. And you have to it takes a lot of fucking time. And when that was dawning on me, it was like, I just realized that I was going to have to really focus on that and make that a priority over some other stuff. But I just finished it recently. I'm recording the audiobook soon. It's coming out in September, and I'm very, very happy with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's take that opportunity to tell people like where are the main places that they can find it.
Oh, anywhere books are sold. It's called The Customer Is Always Wrong: An Unhinged Guide to Everything That Sucks About Work, by me, Scott Seiss. And it's got my big cartoon face on the cover.
Nice. So, I mean, it's like right when you said that, I kind of pictured, myself and my kids and my family kind of sitting playing board games, and maybe we have some friends over and we like pick up the book. We're like reading like a little piece of like, oh, check this out, and like we all laugh about it. Is that what it's intended for?
Yeah,
like,
the
like
whole
little
thing.
bits of like
my
comedy that you can.
My sell for the book was that it's something you flip through in the break room while your manager like wonders where the fuck you are. Like where it's like you're hiding in the walls of the store, flipping through this book of like whatever pisses you off about work like that day. You flip to it and you laugh about it. So it goes through like not just customer service, but like, applying for the job, dealing with bosses, quitting, like all kinds of shit. But it's all about work. And I wrote it just to kind of put me out there more as a writer too, not just like in 15-second tidbits on TikTok, but like a whole book worth of comedy.
Nice. Do you think that this will lead to any other books going forward, or is this kind of like...
I'm taking a break from books.
Yeah.
The book writing process, man, it really was so difficult because I'm a performer. I like to be in front of an audience. I like to be in front of people. And writing the book was it was an isolating experience, so
I understand that just from like college courses and like trying to get through,
It was a lot, and I'm a procrastinator, so I was pulling all-nighters and everything to get this done, but I'm taking a break from books, unless it's like a huge hit, in which case I'll write one. But man, I want to really focus on performing now that I'm done writing that.
Do you think writing this like hurt your performance a little bit? Your performing, not performance, but like your touring and your comedy at all?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe just in the fact that like I did less of it while I was writing, but I'll tell you what, it really helped me just kind of generate material and like tags and get me more into like I guess it helped like hone like my writing process because like I had to in order to generate the material for the book. Right. So that helped.
What was the idea behind like where did the idea to write the book come from? Like, did someone say, hey, you should write a book about this? Like, where did that?
Yeah. So someone had suggested it. I had never thought about writing a book before. But it made sense to me in that I like, like humor books. I like, comedy books, like shit like from like David Sedaris and stuff like that. I love reading, really funny books. And I was like, okay, I think I can do this. I like satire. I love The Onion or Clickhole, that kind of stuff. That was in like McSweeney's. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try this. But one of the biggest factors was that my videos, I don't know if this is news. I don't own that music. I didn't write that song. You know what I mean? The music. So like sometimes sometimes those videos get taken down, Don't take this down, please. Sometimes they get taken down. And I was like, hey, if I write a book, it's a way for me to kind of like own this material or have this material for myself and not be worried about it getting erased or like, TikTok being made illegal and just kind of eliminating this from the planet. So I was like, there's also a practical aspect to writing the book.
In a way.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just, honestly, it was a challenge too. I knew it was going to be a challenge writing 200 pages of bits. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to do that.
Nice. Yeah, I it's like going back for a second to the the angry retail guy and like you could see the trap of like that happening and then feeling like you have this obligation to continue it or like evolve it or use it or so I don't know if that's a bad thing to sort of do the way that you're doing it, which is just like, it sounds like it's more when you get inspired to do something or to add to it, you do. That does make sense to me.
Exactly. I'm not trying to overuse that or anything. It's only when I'm having fun with it that I'll do it. And I feel like because of that, people continue to have fun with it because they can see me. I'm not getting tired of it because I'm not doing it like every day or anything,
Right. And you're not abusing it in any way. Like you're not like, because there could reach a point where somebody's like if you were doing it every day,
right?
And reach a point where somebody's like, okay, I get it. but like if it pops up every month, it's like, oh my God, Scott just put one up. Like, let's check it out. If it's random, like, so I think for this, it could, seems like it makes sense.
Yeah, that was kind of my strategy with it. And I don't do like retail every time. Like if I post a video, sometimes like one of the most recent ones I did was like about just AI in the workplace and everything. And so I'll try to do different topics. But I try to, it sounds stupid, but in my mind, the strategy was like eventizing. You know what I mean? Like making it be like, okay, if it's every couple of months, one pops off on Twitter, then it's like it's a fun thing to see in your feed rather than something you get sick of. Right. That was kind of my strategy with it, and that's what it's been so far.
That makes total sense. What was the AI one? I'm curious about that.
Oh, it was back during the writer's strike or whatever, but it was like it started off with like, oh, let's replace like our employees with AI, and it was like, and I go like, oh, let's replace our CEOs instead, or like let's just use a or like it just load up a Fisher Price tape recorder with a bunch of bad ideas that should do it. Like AI is too fucking advanced or whatever. Like it was a bunch of that.
That's great.
But yeah, it was right during the strike.
I'm sure for a lot of people that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Like if you could just get rid of these people on top, like everything would be better.
Yes. If you're just budgeting or something or allocating funds, like have a computer do that.
What else you got going on? Like tell me a little bit about, like, I guess I want to know a little bit about what your life is like outside of, all these things. Well, there's acting too. I'm kind of curious about that.
Yes. I love to act.
So how's that going? I mean, you did Cocaine Bear, which was awesome. That came from that whole like, explosion thing. Do you think is that leading to other opportunities?
I think so. I mean, I got, meetings from it. I did, Randall Park made an indie movie called Shortcomings. It was his directorial debut. That's on Netflix now. I'm in that.
Nice.
And it's not, it's funny because the first movie I did was just called Cocaine Bear. So I feel like everything after, it's like people are just still wondering about Cocaine Bear. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, when's the next one of that coming out? But
I wonder, it's like that genre, like what is in that genre of films? Like are people going to, think of you for those kinds of things for now?
I don't know. I mean, I would love to keep dying in movies. That's it was very fun to die on screen, and I'll keep doing that as long as people have me. But I think they made like Crack-Coon, like a raccoon on crack after that. There were all these like spin-off ones that tried to, I think there was like a Cocaine Shark too, like all these like low budget ones that came after, but
I didn't even know that. That's insane. Cocaine Shark. Oh my
god. Yeah, man. So no, but acting is fun. I love to act, but it's so different than stand-up because with stand-up you have so much more control over when you can do it and like making your own audience. And like with acting and auditions, like I always wanted to be an actor as well as a comedian, but I never focused on acting. I always just focused on stand-up because I knew that it was like, it is such a crapshoot. You talk about being lucky as a stand-up. You have to get so lucky as an actor that it's like, okay, well, you're just like 1 inch off of what we wanted, or, you don't have the right color hair, color eyes, or whatever it is. You just have no clue what people are looking for. And so, you're just doing like all these auditions hoping for the best, but it's something I'm doing like occasionally. I'm not doing it as often as stand-up or, just comedy in general, but I do love it.
Would love to know a little bit about what does Scott Seiss do when he's not doing stand-up film or
oh my gosh,
book writing?
I'm a gamer, dude.
Are you serious?
I game.
Nice. My son wants desperately to be a gamer, and I'm like,
oh, he wants to like stream and do Twitch and all that kind of stuff?
No, he doesn't. Not yet. He's 11, but he's like, if he could spend all his time, he's great at he's great at school, he's great at sports, he plays basketball, but like it's like you can see the pull, right? Yeah. It's like he gets on that thing, and at that age, you don't the dopamine hits that you get from that, you can't get anywhere else. And it's like you see him get home, and like you're talking to him, you're like, okay, make sure you get your homework done. And you can almost he's see itching. His like his whole being is just like, I gotta get to the video games. I mean, it's like, and he could, if you left him alone, like he could just play for hours on it.
Dude, that'll happen to me. This is like, because I'm a night owl too, so I'll just like stay up and play games until like fucking 3 a.m. or whatever when I get home from a show. But I don't do like multiplayer stuff. I like single player stuff. Have you heard of Baldur's Gate 3?
I've heard of it, but I don't.
Oh my god, it's such a fucking amazing game. Like so well written. Like I love like the narrative kind of experiences in gaming, but I love that. I spend time with my wife Amanda. She's amazing. We watch The Traitors. We watch
oh my
Survivor.
Gosh, I just started watching that with my wife. The Traitor. Oh my gosh, there's something about that is. I'm wondering. My big question is, do the Traitors always? I haven't seen the end of the first season, but I'm like, it looks like the Traitors are crushing it. Do they always win? Is this how this goes? Don't tell me.
Okay, I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna spoil it. But yeah, we are obsessed with the Traitors right now. We're watching the Traitors UK.
Okay.
We've moved on to other countries. We can't get enough of the Traitors. We're like we're importing Traitors from other countries now. We're like, give us more. But yeah, I love any reality competition show, dude. That is like my guilty pleasure. I'll watch any reality competition show there is. That's my favorite thing to watch.
That's fun.
Yeah, do that game. I like to cook. You know.
Nice.
Hey, I'm just a dude. Just a dude out here hanging out.
A sportsman?
I don't play sports. I love the Ravens.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of the Ravens. I'm not. I ran track in high school.
Okay.
And that was like, I was like, what am I even doing? I'm just pretending like I like sports.
Do you run at all anymore?
No, I love to like just take walks. Like if I'm home or like writing and I need a break, I'll just like walk around the apartment, like pop on a podcast for like an hour or something. I like to. That's what I like to do. I don't like to run anymore. I got enough running in high school, basically. Yeah.
Did you run like cross country or?
Yeah, I did cross country. I tried being a sprinter at first, and they were like, "You have the body of a cross country person. Like, you need to stop trying to sprint." I was like, "Okay." But yeah, that's why I did track, but no other sports really.
Nice.
But I love watching the Ravens. Have you
Yeah.
seen Stavros, his fucking Ravens character?
No.
Oh my god.
We've been trying to get him here, but we haven't been able to. I'm hoping to get him here.
Oh, he's hilarious. But he has a little like a character he does like a Ravens fan. But my wife and I watch it after every game. It's so fucking funny.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
It's so funny.
Well, I know you got to get to some other things. I think you have another podcast after that.
So. Booked and busy with podcasts.
But it's been great spending some time with you, getting to know you a little bit, and talking about your business strategies, which I love. And congrats on all your success. I can't wait to see where everything goes for you.
Thanks, man.
And I appreciate you coming on here and just sitting down with me and chatting with me for a little bit.
Dude, thank you for having me. And the things you were saying were so nice.
Oh, well.
My ego is huge now walking out of this podcast experience.
That's what I'm here to do. Well, Scott, thanks. And, best of luck with everything. Please, guys, check Scott out. Where are you performing next?
Next, I'm doing the Stress Factory in New Jersey. I'm going to be in Royal Oak, Michigan, Texas. I'll be all over. Just scottseiss.com. You'll find all the dates.
Awesome. Thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks.